Good morning. Welcome to City of London Cigars. I'm with George Frakes, 1573 Cigars and Foundation Cigars, and he's lovingly joined me today to enjoy one of these cigars from Foundation Cigars. I'm going to let George explain a little bit about the cigar we're smoking. So over to you, George.
Fantastic. It was great to see you, Des.
Yes.
It's always
Brilliant.
great to see you. Thanks for joining for Smoke. Today we're smoking the Wise Man Corojo Robusto from Foundation Cigar Company. It's a really interesting cigar because, and to cut a very long story short, this is a collaboration between two industry legends. This is a Foundation through and through, right? Foundation on the box, Foundation on the band, Foundation cigar. It's blended by Nick Melillo and created by Nick Melillo through and through, but it is a collaboration between Nick Melillo and Don Pepin Garcia of My Father. So this is rolled at My Father using My Father tobacco, and that's something that just doesn't really happen, right?
Yeah.
Because Don Pepin only collaborates with his son, Jaime Garcia, and Pete Johnson, his son-in-law, his only family. And he called Nick and he said, I really want to work with you. I really like you. I really love your cigars. And this is the result. It's something really special, actually. This is the Corojo, which is 100% Nicaraguan Corojo as well. So it's a really
got a lovely
difficult
colour to
blend.
it.
Yeah. It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's
Really
really
stands
difficult
out.
to blend a cigar that's actually a Puro, 100% Nicaraguan. And it's really difficult to blend a cigar that's 100% Nicaraguan, all from the same sort of tobacco.
The draw is incredible as well, but you get that from My Father. And if anyone
Yeah.
knows me, you know my relationship with My Father. I love everything My Father because it's, I think the name My Father helps with certain things that I have to deal with.
Yeah.
And then to have Foundation Cigars and with My Father collaborating and I mean, Nick Melillo, I met him at an event some years
Yeah.
ago, and he's such a nice guy.
He is.
And I think his knowledge and his whole throughout his cigar journey is incredible. And I know you've got some lovely thoughts about Nick Melillo. I think he's
Yeah.
a real good friend of yours.
Yeah.
And at the event, he
He
was
is.
great. He really sort of got chatting to everybody, and his knowledge is incredible. And
It
to
is.
join with My Father is like you say, it's amazing.
Yeah, and do you know something I really love to talk about Nick there briefly. Nick, if you're watching, you close your ears. But Nick's so humble that he doesn't really talk about this stuff. That's part of the reason why I'm here. Like, not physically, I'm here to see you and have the smoke, but that's why I'm here with Foundation, in the fact that Nick does so many incredible things, and he collaborates with so many incredible people that he doesn't really talk about it that much. But to collaborate with Don Pepin is something that just doesn't happen.
Absolutely. And do you know what I love about Nick Melillo? He's his branding. He's the way he comes up with like the Tabernacle, Charter Oak, Highclere Castle. These are all amazing cigars, and they always have a story. There's something behind it. It's not just a cigar that's put together. It's something
Yeah.
that's actually thought about, and he's putting
Yeah.
something together that anyone can understand and enjoy.
100%. I'll quickly. I don't know how long you've got,
No,
but
we've got all day.
But I've actually got a Wise Man box in my bag here, and if you have a look at the Wise Man, I'll hold that up so you can see it. The story behind this, and if you see that cross there, that is the cross of Menelik I. And Menelik I was the first emperor of Aksum, 950 BC. Yeah, that's a very long time ago. I almost remember it. But there's
Probably more so than you.
no, trust me, man. I was only 15, but yeah, it was just a bit shady. There's Menelik I, first emperor of Aksum, 950 BC. Now, actually, Haile Selassie was the last emperor of Ethiopia, last sitting emperor. Haile Selassie is the current exiled emperor. But Haile Selassie, who's on the Tabernacle, 1974, was the last sitting emperor. You got the first and the last. That's the line of Solomon. Second longest line of emperors in history, from Aksum, which became Abyssinia, and then Abyssinia to Ethiopia. Now, in 1541, there was a man called Girolamo Benzoni. He travelled through Nicaragua as a Milanese merchant, so he wasn't a colonial power, which makes it a really interesting account. And he wrote his account in a book called History of the New World, published in the 1590s. And in History of the New World, he notes that tobacco wasn't being smoked by the Spanish. It wasn't being smoked by the colonial power. It's being smoked by the native Nicaraguans, the Nawa, and by Ethiopians, enslaved by the Spanish and brought to Nicaragua. Now this, for one, places the Ethiopians as possibly the first non-native smokers of Nicaraguan cigars.
Wow.
And for two, it tells an amazing story, because that time with Ethiopia and the wise man, and the wise man's cigar and Menelik the First, and it was the line of Menelik in Ethiopia in 1541, and so it really encapsulates what a cigar means, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because the native Nicaraguans, they saw their most sacred good.
Yeah.
They saw it as something more sacred than gold. And they could have shared that most sacred good with the people in power who could save their lives.
Right. Yeah.
But they didn't. They chose to share their most sacred good with the people who needed it the most, who needed it on a very deep and spiritual level. And there's something really humbling about that in a way, by sharing the tobacco with the Ethiopians rather than Spanish, the native Nicaraguans possibly saw it as sacrificing their lives. But I believe the same process happens every time we share a cigar with someone.
Absolutely.
Every time we give a cigar to someone.
Yeah.
Every time we walk into a cigar lounge and everyone's smoking a different cigar, it doesn't matter. We still have that same connection. It transcends power and it transcends status. It brings us down to what we really are as human beings and what is most important in this world.
It's a social thing, isn't it? It brings us all together. That's one thing I love about cigars is the fact that it does bring us all together. You can go into a lounge at any point. I've been here and I could be on my own, I could be with people, and it's just an amazing thing to share with other people, and like you say, with people exploring different cigars. But I think with Foundation Cigars, I'm not just saying this because you're here, it's just that there's always some story behind each and every single one of these cigars, and it makes you really think about the cigar that you're smoking and the story behind it, and how Nick would come up with these ideas because it's different. I watched a Joe Rogan podcast the other day, and I see that he always says about Foundation Cigars, which is incredible, and I'm like, I know George from Foundation Cigars, and it brings me to think about you and Foundation Cigars, and I think I want to go and try another Foundation cigar, and that's what I enjoy about it. When I come here, one of my favourites is the Olmec. I love the Olmec.
Yes,
Great cigar.
Olmec.
I love that softbox press. I love the cigar. I love the idea, and I love the whole story behind that as well. But we're going to crack on with the rest of this cigar. We're going to join me and George at the halfway stage, and we'll tell you exactly what notes I get, what notes George gets, and we'll say how we're getting on with it. So join me and George at the halfway stage of this Wise Man Corojo.
There we go.
See you in a minute.
See you in a bit.
So you join me and George at just a little bit past the halfway stage of this Wise Man Corojo. I'm going to pass you over to George just to let you know what he gets from it, because every palate is different, what I get. So I haven't told George what I got at the moment. So George, just a little bit about what profiles you get from that cigar.
Well, it's a good question. I'm going to really think about this, because I could say what I've got written down on paper, but I do believe you're right, every palate's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every palate's different. And so I think something that I've got quite a lot from this cigar is that, I get sort of a cashew-like sweetness out of it.
Yep.
So it's quite a nutty cigar.
Very nutty. Yeah. I wouldn't have pinpointed it as a cashew. Definitely a nut.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
A sweetness for sure. The sweetness I get as well.
There's something that I get from this cigar which is it's almost like a Brazil nut sort of tone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the only way I can describe it. A woodiness, cedar sort of woodiness to it. There's particularly in the second third of the cigar and towards the beginning of the second third, I get quite a lot of cocoa, but it comes in and out, so it's not always there. With this sort of tobacco, you get quite a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
So, but
For me, so I get that nuttiness. I can't pinpoint what the nuttiness is. I get the sweetness. There's a little bit of spice, but not a lot, which is quite nice. On the retro, it's really nice. It doesn't burn or anything like that, and it does have that cocoa. I do get that.
Yes.
It does. It's intermittent.
yeah.
But on the whole, I mean, it draws really nice. It's got a lovely feel to it. Sometimes you go a bit oily, but this hasn't gone oily at all. It's got a lovely matte to it, to the wrapper, which is nice. Sometimes when you have a cigar and you handle it a lot, it gets a bit oily. I don't know if you get that from the fingers or the oil comes out, but this has stayed.
You can get that a lot with Corojo as well. So this is, it's a really high quality Corojo, this, where you can get that sort of, some Corojos, the danger is you can get almost a tarriness from it.
Yes.
It's the tarry sort of oiliness,
Get a
isn't it?
bitterness or something.
Yeah. Whereas this doesn't have that. That is, it really sort of showcases what that Corojo can do, and it's quite woody tobacco.
I'll get that. Yeah.
In that sense, but again, it's not overly woody, which again is really hard to do. So,
But it's a lovely
incredibly
cigar.
balanced.
I've done the punch. George has done a straight cut, and like I say, I wonder how different it'd be if we were smoking this outside. I wonder if we get different. I imagine you would do.
yeah, I've thought about that with this cigar as well. It's more sort of you get more toasted notes. It tends to be sweeter indoors and more savoury outside.
It's toastier outside.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to the business end, which is my favourite part, as you understand when you watch any of my videos, and I find that gets stronger. But this is, at the moment, it's like a medium bodied cigar.
It's a really interesting line, this, because you've got the Corojo, the blue one, and the Maduro, the red one. Logic would dictate that the Corojo would be much lighter, and the Maduro would be much stronger.
Yeah.
But they're not that far apart in strength.
No, I've already smoked the Maduro, and you're absolutely right. There's not a massive gulf between each.
No. It's different profile.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But this is fantastic. Check out Foundation Cigars. This is the Wiseman Corojo. But any of the Foundation cigars, go and check them out. But join me and George at the business end.
Fantastic.
See you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
So here we are. We're at the business end. It's been about an hour and a quarter to take to get to this point here.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let George just explain how he's feeling coming to the end of this cigar. Now, I haven't eaten anything, so I am feeling it a little bit.
Okay.
I think you just said pretty much the same.
I haven't eaten anything either, and it is it's coming up to 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I think if I had a glass of water, I'd be eating it right now.
We should have had breakfast. Should have had breakfast.
But it's really picking up its strength quite a bit.
Yes, absolutely. I was going to say that.
So, and it's becoming a lot earthier for me. I don't know about yourself, but there's a lot more there's a lot of minerality.
The minerals I'm getting, and the earthiness for sure, and it has really picked up in strength.
It has, and I really like that. That's something that originally drew me to Foundation. Actually, it's the fact that a lot of Nicaraguan cigars, just because of the way they're made, start out quite strong.
Yeah.
And then some of them get lighter. But Nick always makes sure it's a progression throughout. rather than a regression.
I know, I agree. I think that's what you want. You want a cigar that's going to pick up in flavour
Yeah.
and it's going to get stronger so you can really enjoy it. Because that's why I always say I love the business end of a cigar, because I always find the majority of cigars, they do pick up at the end and you get a different cigar from when you first start. And if that's what Nick is doing, then on this Wiseman, the Corojo, 100% that has now picked up to be something really flavourful. I am getting that sweetness still, cocoa, but it's really earthy now, isn't it?
It is much
Stronger.
and an oaky sort of woodiness
Yeah,
to it.
and I feel like I'm salivating more.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like
That's
the
a good
body's
thing.
trying to produce more saliva to counteract the strength.
Yeah, 100%. I find that usually. I don't today. I think I'm very dehydrated. Haven't eaten anything. Haven't drunk anything. You know.
He's been rushing around. He's been rushing around.
but there's like a bag of sand, you know.
But as you can see the construction on that is absolutely faultless. We haven't
They are.
touched this up at all, and it's just drawing perfectly. It's always nice when it's running evenly all the way through, and you
Yep.
can see with yours as well. It's exactly the same. It's not canoeing. It's not
Yeah.
tunneling. It's absolutely amazing. The ash is a lovely colour compared to the wrapper.
There's something that's really cool about this. It's got a double binder.
Oh,
So
okay.
by having a double binder, it'll really ensure that burns correctly.
Oh, is that right?
So yeah, you very rarely get canoeing with double binder. Because
Something new you've learnt there.
gaps, no gaps in the binder mean no sort of air rushes
Can
or
go
pockets
through.
down the side.
Oh, I didn't know that. There you go. There's something. Well, we're educational as well. Look.
Yeah. There you
So,
go.
It's
Fantastic.
been great having George today. He's spared a couple of hours for me. We're at City of London
Spared a couple
Cigars.
of hours. I've greatly enjoyed a couple of hours actually.
We've
You
had
know.
our water, but no, it's always a pleasure to catch up with George, because I know he's a busy man.
Well, likewise, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you, genuinely. And I know you are a busy man too.
Well,
You're doing
I
a lot
sometimes
for the
try to
cigar
think I
world.
am. Yes, so please check out Foundation Cigars, 1573. Check out all of George's platforms, Cigar Cabin, obviously. But on that note, we're going to finish off the rest of these cigars. We're going to call it a day. On that note, stay safe and happy smoking.
See you in a bit.